Welcome back, my friends. Is carbon capture a fraud? Saudi oil giant Aramco announces pilot project to suck CO2 out of the air. But some scientists are skeptical. Aramco is partnering with Siemens Energy AG to develop a small-scale direct air capture test unit, which is set to be finished in 2024. Direct air capture, or DAC, works by extracting carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and converting it into solid or liquid forms to be stored underground. Some experts say that DAC is too expensive and yields too little results to be a viable carbon reduction strategy. What does this mean for consumers? What does this mean for energy markets? What does this mean for oil companies? What does it mean for the US economy? And what does it mean for the future of the United States? But, before we get into all of that, please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. And, before we continue, a word from the sponsor of this video. Today's sponsor is ProWorldNet.com. ProWorldNet.com is a job website specifically dedicated to licensed professions. Doctors, including any type of specialty. Nurses, and that includes all grades of nurses. Lawyers, regardless of area of legal focus. Teachers and professors, from kindergarten through graduate school. As well as any kind of job that requires a government license or certification. And ProWorld.net also includes short-term gig-type jobs as well. So, be sure to check out ProWorldNet.com if you are looking for a job or an employee. Saudi oil giant Aramco on Monday announced a partnership with Siemens Energy AG to develop a small-scale direct air capture test unit in an attempt to manage emissions. The test unit will be built in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia and finished in 2024, according to a statement from Aramco on Monday. Direct air capture, or DAC, works by extracting carbon dioxide that has already been emitted into the atmosphere. The extracted CO2 can then be condensed into solid stone-like formations or liquefied to be stored underground. DAC is the most expensive method of carbon capture, according to the International Energy Agency. It's generally cheaper to remove CO2 at the source, before it's emitted into the air. The big price tag attached to DAC along with questions of its efficacy have made some climate scientists skeptical of its viability as a long-term emissions reduction strategy. From a physics point of view, we just made the problem thousands of times harder, said Jonathan Foley, who leads the Climate Solutions nonprofit project Drawdown. Imagine trying to remove 400 things out of a million and do it in the air. Then, efficiently liquefy this stuff and put it below ground. That's a huge engineering marvel. To do it at the scale of billions of tons is science fiction right now. Foley added that DAC machines themselves take a lot of energy to get running, which eats away at whatever carbon reduction they do achieve. But despite obstacles to scaling DAC, many companies, especially tech giants, are pouring investments into developing the technology. For example, Amazon announced last month that it would provide funding for the world's largest deployment of DAC, and a coalition of tech companies led by Stripe has launched a public benefit company called Frontier to invest in carbon capture startups and projects. Extracting carbon from the atmosphere is attractive to companies with large carbon footprints, because it would allow them to keep emitting with a reversal mechanism after the fact. Fossil fuel companies would love to be able to keep emitting from fossil operations while offsetting those emissions via cost-effective direct air capture projects. That's kind of a perfect world for them, if they can get there, said Kara Horowitz, the executive director of UCLA's Emmett Institute on Climate Change and the Environment. And even if they can't get there, investing in the development of DAC allows them to tout efforts to achieve net zero goals in ways that don't involve reducing use of fossil fuels. So far, experts say, the technology is unproven at scale. I would love a machine like this to actually work. Wouldn't that be great? You just turn on a machine that sucks everything out of the sky, said Foley. But sorry, it's a lot easier not to emit it than it is to take it back out again. That's just thermodynamics. The DAC collaboration between Aramco and Siemens Energy is still in early phases. A Siemens Energy spokesperson told CNBC that once the test unit is complete next year, the companies will consider taking the technology into an official pilot phase. Only after that would they pursue scaling it commercially. Given DAC's adolescence, both oil companies are invested in other clean energy technology projects. The spokesperson for Siemens Energy said that the company has invested in hydrogen, wind, nuclear fusion and others. Meanwhile, Aramco also has projects in hydrogen and geothermal energy. Carbon capture is a process that aims to reduce the amount of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere by capturing it from industrial processes and storing it underground. While it is a promising technology, there are concerns about its effectiveness and the potential for fraud. According to an article by Global Witness, carbon capture is a scam that fossil fuel companies use to continue burning fossil fuels while claiming to be environmentally friendly. The report claims that carbon capture facilities are not effective in reducing emissions and can even release more greenhouse gases than they capture. For example, Shell's carbon capture facility in Alberta, Canada, released more carbon emissions than it captured. In addition, there have been cases of fraudulent claims for tax credits for carbon capture. A Treasury Department watchdog found that almost $900 million worth of tax credits were submitted in ways that did not meet EPA rules under the incentive program. However, it is important to note that carbon capture technology has the potential to play a significant role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. It is still an emerging technology, and there are ongoing efforts to improve its effectiveness and reduce costs. Carbon capture is a promising technology that can help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. However, there are several challenges that need to be overcome to make it a viable solution. Carbon capture technology has the potential to play a significant role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions, but it faces several obstacles. One of the main challenges is capturing enough carbon to make a significant impact. While industrial facilities that scrub carbon dioxide from their flue gas have reduced their life cycle emissions of CO2 by 55 to 90%, capturing carbon from the surrounding air or from the atmosphere randomly is more challenging. Another challenge is the cost of implementing carbon capture technology. The process of capturing carbon dioxide and storing it underground can be expensive, and there are concerns about the economic viability of the technology. Despite these challenges, there are ongoing efforts to improve the effectiveness and reduce costs of carbon capture technology. For example, Northwestern University has developed a moisture swing technique for direct air carbon capture, DAC, which captures CO2 at low humidities and releases it at high humidities, utilizing a range of ions. Carbon capture is a complex process that involves capturing carbon dioxide from industrial processes and storing it underground. While it is a promising technology, there are several challenges that need to be overcome to make it a viable solution. There are multiple barriers that keep carbon capture from becoming mainstream, such as economic hurdles and potential risks. One of the main challenges is capturing enough carbon to make a significant impact. While industrial facilities that scrub carbon dioxide from their flue gas have reduced their life cycle emissions of CO2 by 55 to 90%, capturing carbon from the surrounding air or from the atmosphere randomly is more challenging. Another challenge is the cost of implementing carbon capture technology. The process of capturing carbon dioxide and storing it underground can be expensive, and there are concerns about the economic viability of the technology. In addition, there are technical challenges associated with carbon capture. For example, the process of capturing carbon dioxide can require a significant amount of energy, which can offset some of the environmental benefits of the technology. There are also concerns about the safety of storing large amounts of carbon dioxide underground, as it can potentially leak out and cause harm to people and the environment. Despite these challenges, there are ongoing efforts to improve the effectiveness and reduce costs of carbon capture technology. For example, direct air carbon capture, DAC, which captures CO2 at low humidities and releases it at high humidities, utilizing a range of ions. This research enhances DAC understanding and offers a more energy-efficient carbon capture. While carbon capture technology is not yet economically viable on a large scale, it has the potential to play an important role in reducing greenhouse gases. There are 4 general themes that explain why the politics of carbon capture and storage has been so difficult. First, there is no pressure for politicians or other stakeholders to seek more efficient solutions. Second, the lack of a coherent logic or overarching industrial policy narrative for supporting carbon capture and storage, except perhaps in a few isolated locations. Third, the nature of carbon capture and storage requires a much larger initial investment and greater systems integration than other low-carbon options. Fourth, changing energy industry business models, which, over the past decade, had eroded some of the factors that had worked in favor of carbon capture and storage. According to an article by RSC Publishing, the political economy of developing carbon capture and storage technologies has proven to be difficult at the international, national, and subnational level. The article suggests that most analyses show that deployment of carbon dioxide capture and storage technologies is central to any ambitious decarbonization efforts. However, the political economy of developing these technologies has proven to be difficult at the international, national, and subnational level. Despite these challenges, there are ongoing efforts to improve the effectiveness and reduce costs of carbon capture technology. While carbon capture technology is not yet economically viable on a large scale, it has the potential to play an important role in reducing greenhouse gas emissions in the future. But, what do you think? Please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. We would love to hear from you. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you are notified of upcoming videos when they are released. Please share this video on social media. Thank you for watching.